Hey, my truth. Hey, my true tellers. How are you guys doing? I was about to say my truth seekers. I went ahead and changed the name to truth tellers. Yes, indeed. In here, unapologetic and nine buys. Guys, if you're just coming on, I don't know if you guys saw the notification because for some reason my notification did not come on. When you talk about topics like this, YouTube does not put you out there, but oh well, it is what it is. So guys, make sure you go ahead and hit like, comment, and share these videos for more unapologetic content. So just give me a minute. Let me see if I can go ahead and do a mic check. Yes, to make sure that everything is okay. So as you can see right here by the topic, guys, we're going to talk about a very hot topic. We're going to talk about, I saw an article where it says that, yes, right there in California is close to approving $150,000 to illegal immigrants. So we're going to go ahead and talk about all that right here. So before I get all into my come my message, guys, let me go ahead and do this right quick because you know you got to do this. Hold on one second, see if I could go ahead and see it. Copyright disclaimer is under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowances made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting. And what we are doing today, guys, we are reporting news. We also teaching scholarship and education, and we also researching fair use is used permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. So again, guys, make sure you go ahead and hit like, comment, and share these videos for more unapologetic content. Like I said, in here, we are grown folks. We ain't got time to sit there and tickle nobody ears. Like I say, this is not the channel. In here we stand on our truth. My truth may not be your truth, but somewhere lies the truth. Okay, so in here, guys, yes indeed, it is grown folks. So let me go ahead and load some of the music down, and also I'm gonna do a little changing up, guys. I'm gonna try to see if I can put out, all of, the videos that not the videos, the thumbnails, everything that I want to go ahead and talk about. I'm going to go ahead and at least try to do a week in advance, which most likely, it might change up, it all depends, or I might cram everything in. And I also want to do something a little different as well. I saw that, I had got a lot of comments, and some of the comments I might cannot get to. And I prefer to go ahead and pick out some of the comments, like one in particular, some questions, that someone wanted to go ahead and ask. I'm gonna go ahead and pick those questions, and I'm going to use it as a thumbnail, use it as a topic. So if you feel that, I went ahead and took your comment, and use it as a topic, you feel free to come on and join my panel. And also another thing I want to go ahead and talk about. This is one of my biggest pet peeve. If you are a reactor, you do reactor videos on certain, topics that's out there, especially when it comes to content creators, because most reactors, they talk about content creators, other content creators. Make sure you put their videos, put their videos at the in your playlist, so we can go ahead and check out, what you guys are talking about, because it's kind of hard, especially when you do reactor, the reactors do commentary, on certain, people that they want to go ahead and talk about. When you don't leave the link, to me, at least you're kind of confusing, with some of the clips. Okay, so with all that good stuff said, guys, again, make sure you go ahead and hit like, comment, and share these videos for more unapologetic content. Or if you feel that you are not obligated to, go ahead and cash out Real Talk 985, Real Talk 985. Okay, so this right here, this topic right here, it's not for everybody. It's not for everybody. But I just want to sit there and just bring some of this stuff to light. But before I do it, guys, I don't know if you saw on Instagram, Dr. Umar Johnson, where he goes by Dr. Umar Ifai Tunde, King Kong Conscious. Let me go ahead and pull this up right quick, where he wants to do a debate. Yes, he want to do a debate with DL Hughley, and DL Hughley said, I don't know if he was being sarcastic or what, but he said that, yes, I will go ahead and do a debate with you, but I want to do it at your school, So Dr. Umar said there, he called him, he's calling for it. Yeah, look, you could come to my school, because I guess, he was figuring, oh, he ain't got this school set up. So let me see if I can pull this out right quick. So I see my girl Starbucks lover. She says, "Welcome, truth tellers." Yes, truth tellers. We are truth tellers right in here. We also seeking truth. We are truth tellers. We're not going to sit there and give you anything where we cannot back it up or make it make sense. Okay, so welcome to truth tellers, my truth tellers. That's who I call you guys, truth tellers. To Real Talk with Lady D. Also, Starbucks said, please hit the like button as you make your way in. Thank you very much, guys. So let me go ahead and talk about this right quick. See if I can make it a little bigger. Let me make it a little bigger, because for some reason I couldn't get on Google. I don't know why. It's something most likely I probably went ahead and did, where I'm on using another browser. So right here, let me see if I can see it. This right here, uh, Dr. Umar Johnson, he went ahead and he had posted this, because he asking, DL Hughley, look, you want to go ahead and you want to mention my name, just like with Steve Harvey, you don't have to pay me a dime, I just want to go ahead and get the truth out, so right here it says that King Kong Conscious pre-election debate. So Dr. Hugh, let me see if I can see it. I can't see it on this one. Let me see if I can read it on this one right here. Yesterday, this is what Dr. Umar had put on, his IG. He said, "Good Garvey Day, brother DL Hughley." He said, "Yesterday you publicly accepted debate with political scientist slash psychologist, Pan Africanist Dr. Umar Ifai Tunde on the condition that it will be held inside of FDMGS auditorium." So I guess, when it came to DL Hughley, they've been talking about Dr. Umar Johnson. They've been talking about that school that, it looked like he never had, it never going to complete. But I used to go through a lot of comments, while people were sitting there saying, Dr. Umar, he's been talking about, his school, for so long, and he's still, haven't gotten it together, but you have to realize, that when you see people building schools, it's like an organization, all coming together with government funds, and quite obvious they can get it off the ground real quick. But this man is doing it by himself with just donations alone, by himself. Who especially if they don't have millions and millions of dollars, who do you know that can build a school that size, by themselves? In it takes time. So that's the way that I see it. But let me go ahead and continue reading where it says, and given that the Dessalines Turner Gymnastoria has been completely renovated from several years now, we can most definitely proceed with the debate immediately. So that's exactly what Dr. Umar is telling DL Hughley. If you want to go ahead, we can go right there, in the auditorium. We got an auditorium, uh, where we can see people, and go ahead and do this debate, and also it says, as I'm sure that you are a man of your word, please provide 3 dates and time that works best for your schedule, from which we will select one so we can move this much anticipated debate forward. Please allow 3 hours for the debate, which will be streamed across the internet for a fee to help us raise funds for the FDMG Academy. So that would be good because the money is going to go to the school. So that right there, it'll keep the people from complaining. Get the two together. I would love to see that, and so he can, do what he need to do, because a lot of people, they want to do the talking, but just to be talking, but they don't want to sit there and really, back it up. So also right here it says, on behalf of Black boys from Maryland, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Delaware, we thank you for agreeing to accept this debate. We await your response. So he's still waiting, even put the phone number. Okay. So someone says right here, now this is how you clear them. DL tried to play. That's exactly what I see it. What he was trying to do is call him bluff, but Dr. Umar said there and said, you can't call me bluff. This right here, this is serious, and the thing about it, and we're going to talk about that, especially when it comes to this election. I just hope that when it comes to celebrities, and even Malcolm X said it, and that's like 40, 50 or 60 years ago. He was saying celebrities, entertainers, they should stay out of, especially when it comes to the elections, they should stay out of it. But like I said, the same stuff is still going on. But also it says, now this is how you clear him. DL tried to play Dr. Umar. The good doctor hit him with the UNO reverse. Absolutely. You got to play that reverse psychology on him. And also, let me see what someone says. And then I'm going to go ahead and get to it. Nail sister, someone said you hit it on the nail. With that draw 10. Yes. Someone else says, Deuce, DL tried to be funny. Now he got to pull up to the school. Let's go. Then I bet you he's not even going to answer. And if I was Dr. Umar, I would make sure that I get all of my followers to go and post on DL, his page or wherever he's at. Are you going to take Dr. Umar, offer? You the one put it out there, said have it at the school. So he opening the doors. And another person says, I respect this guy tremendously, but frankly, neither of the gentlemen are politicians, nor do either care political platforms and weight. But how could they say that? Because most of the ones that's running for something, they never go to people that's very, knowledgeable when it comes to politics. Who they go to? They go to entertainers. They go to like a Cardi B and a Beyonce. They go to all these rappers. They don't get people like a Dr. Claude Anderson or Dr. Boys to talk about the economy, and they don't get people that's very knowledgeable. They always go and get those entertainers. So I don't even understand what this person is saying. So I'm not even going to continue reading it. But I just wanted to go ahead and share this with you guys. What do you think about it? So let me go ahead and get out of this right here, and we going to talk about the topic. Let me see if I can go ahead and pull it up again. We're going to talk about the topic where it says that California had close to approving $150,000 loan for illegal immigrants to help purchase homes right there in California. Let me see if I can go ahead and pull up that article so you can see exactly what's going on. And that's why I sat there and tell you, our people, we be sitting there fighting so hard, for people, yes, we want to see people look like us, in the seat thinking that they going to do for us. But like I say, all kinfolks ain't all skin folks ain't kinfolks, something like that. I always get it backwards, but just, we already know how this is going to work out. Okay. So let me go ahead and read this right here where this article, let me pull it up because I'm using a whole different browser, okay, guys? But let me see if I can pull this up. This right here is coming from Fox News, and I'm going to say allegedly, okay? But let me see if I can pull it up because I'm using a whole new browser. So right here, it says California close to approving $150,000 loan for illegal immigrants to help purchase a home. Guys, some of this stuff right here, you can't make it up even if you want to. $150,000 loan to illegal immigrants. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. And we're going to talk about not too long ago, they were talking about giving reparations to descendants of slaves. What happened to that? What happened to that? You don't remember that? They was talking about giving reparation right there in California to descendants of slaves. Now all of a sudden, they talking about giving $150,000 loan to illegal immigrants. What it takes for us to get something, because we already know exactly what they said to us. I'm not going to do nothing just for black people, but the blacks always have your back. The blacks are the ones that's sitting there pretty much carrying this campaign on. And I'm not just talking about just Kamala Harrison. Like I said, I'm talking about all both of them. We all out here, is the lesser of the evil one, or however you guys want to say it. Evil is evil, guys. There's no way that you can get around that. And someone has said, well, it's about democracy. Well, we can ask for freedom, but sometimes, that just because we ask for something, that does not mean we get it. We always the ones that suffer. You get all these bills set in place, but everybody else gets the benefit. Everybody else gets to reap off it, and we end up suffering. So we got to be careful. We got to just be careful. So let me go ahead and read this right quick. Okay. So, like I said, in here is real talk, and I'm talking to my truth tellers. My truth tellers, where are you? Where are you, my truth tellers? So right here, this article is by Fox, and I already went ahead and put the copyright disclaimer. Let me go ahead and make sure that I put the flag on, so the banner could sit there and go across my screen. So again, the copyright is under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowances made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. So again, guys, make sure you go ahead and hit like, comment, and share these videos for more unapologetic content. Okay. So right here it says that the lawmaker in California could soon make the Golden State the first in the country to make undocumented immigrants eligible for up to $150,000 in state-supported home loans. Wow. Did you hear it? Did you hear this? That's why I sit there and say, these people, you got to put up a shut up. We ain't going by no words anymore. Chicken tongue will say anything. $150,000 to illegal immigrants to put a down payment on a home in California. And some of you guys may say, well, California is very expensive. True. Just the smallest homes, because I got two sister stays out there. Those homes are like $1 million, just to stay in a good, place. $1 million, even the Ragley's place is like $1 million to start. So 150,000 ain't nothing. Yes, 150,000 is a lot. Because just like when I was telling one of my mods who was talking about all this right here, what they going to do, they gonna think smart. Just like the Asians, when the Asians came down here, what they did, they think smart. They don't think like we go and sit there and try to take this $150,000 and live off it. What they going to do, they gonna put it together in one pot, and they don't mind 20 and 30 people living in one homes. That's what the agents did. When they came down here, they used to sit there and live on top of each other's. We got Mexicans, what they do. They not sitting there and, oh, I'm going to buy a house over there. You go buy a house over there. No. What they do is they live on top of each other. I remember when they used to go into the stores, what they do is they all put money in one pot and they all make groceries together. And once they pick few of them to sit there and they don't go and borrow money. They don't put their money back into the system. Once they get the money, whatever the government give to them, they will pick one or two people, whoever, and they will give, help them to purchase a home or a vehicle, paid out in cash. And once that person sat there and build up and get where they need to get, they put the money back into their pot. That's what they do. So that 150,000, trust me, it's going to be about 20 or 30 people putting money in the pot. And before you know it, somebody got $1 million to go and purchase a store. They're not going and purchase a house. They go and purchase some type of business. And once that business start prospering, then they going to put the money back into the pot and help somebody else to get up. Come on, guys. Can't you see what's going on? So miss me with the bull crap. 150,000, that ain't no money. Yeah, it's a lot of money because they going to know exactly how to make that $150,000 stretch. So let me go ahead and read some more. It says the democratic. I should have read this before. Majority in the California state legislature is likely to pass a measure. Let me see if I can read this week that would make undocumented immigrants eligible for the California Dream for All Loans program, a state-funded program that provided 20%, I think I say 20%, in a down payment assistance up to 150,000 according to a report. So that's exactly what it says. I should have put it up on my phone instead of reading it on the screen, but this is exactly what it says. So right there, they are passing this right here, and it's called the California Dream. Yes, California Dream for All Loan programs, a state-funded program that provided 20% in down payment assistance up to $150,000. So right there is called California Dream, and we can't even get our dream. We can't even get our dream. We cannot even get our dream, but they can come down illegal people, illegal immigrants can come down and they got a title form. They got something in place for them called the California Dream. The California Dream for all. California Dream for all. Make it make sense, guys. Make it make sense. Participating in the program must be first time home buyers. I think that's what it says. and at least one must be a first generational home buyer, while income levels must. How can you be first generation home buyers and you illegal immigrants? Break that down for me, Star. How the heck you can be a first generation of home buyers and you came into this state illegal? Make it make sense. This don't make no sense. Let me see if I can read it again. I should have had pulled this up on my phone, but it says right here, participants in the program that must be first time home buyers, and at least one must be a first generational home buyer, while income level must be below certain limits depending on the country where the recipients live. My God. Mm-mm-mm. So let me know what your thoughts about this right here. What are your thoughts about here? Let me see if I can read some of the comments, guys. Let me close some of these tabs. Close some of these tabs so I can see what's going on. Mm-mm-mm. Make it make sense, guys. Make it make sense. Let me see what. Let me read the comments, guys. When I put my glasses on, I can't see it, and when I don't put my glasses on, I still can't see it. Make it make sense. Starbucks says, "Well, oh, I read that right there." Keep teaching. Thank you, DeAndre. She says, keep teaching. Thank you very much. It's time to wake our people up. Enough is enough. We got everybody backs. We see how our people, pulled out. I mean, $2 million less than a few hours. $2 million. So now they were saying that when it comes to this campaign with Kamala Harris, it's close to almost $1 billion, close to $1 billion she had pulled out. I mean, she got to support her for this campaign. DeAndre says they're going to put 20 in one house. Absolutely. That's exactly what yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. 20 in one house. And they don't mind because the agents did the same thing. That's how you see how they can come up. How now they doing better than us, and we've been here. We was here. They can go right now and get loans and they approve. You go out there and the only loan that they're gonna approve for you is a vehicle. Make it make sense. They will approve your vehicle, but they're not going to approve you so quick when it comes to a home. But these people don't even want these loans because they know exactly how the system works. And the reason why we don't know how the system works because we sit there and we don't go out there and do research. We take their word for Bible. They sit there and say, "Look, I need you to do this, and if this doesn't happen, we don't research to see what's going to happen. What are they talking about?" And so in a minute, they get in the seat. Oh, what they going to do for you in very, very small print. You barely can see it. You way in the back now. That's why they can push all those laws for everybody else except you. And people don't want to hear stuff like this. But God say, tell it to them anyhow, okay? Yeah, they manage their money differently than Americans. Absolutely. Absolutely. It means while the homeless people who are citizens are not being offered this type of money. Absolutely. Just like in California. California is full of homeless people. We was talking about it this morning, how they was moving the homeless people off the boardwalk, sleeping on, the boardwalk, telling homeless people, that they can't, sleep there anymore. I mean, homeless people right here, citizens right here on American soil, don't even have those type of opportunities. They don't even have that type of opportunity. Let's go ahead and pull this up about the reparations right here in California. We don't even hear them even talking about reparation no more. It was talking about giving California citizens, if you were a descendants of slaves, that you were getting reparations. So let's go ahead and pull this up. You remember this right here. We haven't forgotten. California Reparation Task Force voted on Saturday to recommend that the state issue a formal apology for slavery and potentially provide billions of dollars in cash payment moving forward to historic effort to enact remediance and compensation for descendants of African Americans who were enslaved in the U.S. You don't even hear them talking about this no more. Let me see if I can pull some more up. See if I can pull some more up. Hold on, guys. It's not gonna let me. Might not let me pull it up. But this right here is coming from the Los Angeles Times. Right here, it says in California, giving reparation for slavery. Hear what you need to know. And this article was right here, May the 6th, 2023. But we don't even hear no more about this right here. Right here it says California Reparation Task Force voted on Saturday to recommend that the state issue a formal apology for slavery and potentially provide billions of dollars in cash payment moving forward, a historic effort to interact remedial and compensation for descendants of African American who were enslaved in the USA. And that's right here is the California alone. Like I said, um, I could tell you some horror stories, right here in the down south. They still got modern day slavery. They still got people sitting there where uh in certain prisons where they running right there in Cottonport, Louisiana. I think I had did a video of that right there in Cottonport, Louisiana, where they had the inmates treat them like slaves, going out there into the cotton fields, picking up cottons, even have the wardens riding around on horses. They was talking about in Jacksonville, Mississippi, where I don't know if they still do it. They had the inmates on the side of the highway in black and white, like slave chains and shackles, and treat them like slaves. So, like I say, our people still going through it. Slavery has not stopped. But see, we don't want to tackle none of those issues. We don't even want to talk about none of those issues like that. That's why, information like that, it gets across the social media very slowly. They don't even recommend videos like this because they don't want to wake our people up. They want our people to keep staying asleep. Let me would have went ahead and talk about other stuff. Oh, they would have sent out the notifications, but I didn't even get a notification. So I can't even say some of my truth tellers, they got notifications because this type of information, they don't want it to get out. Like I said there and say, we might sit there and say this is our platform, but this is not our house. Okay. Some of you guys might catch this by tomorrow. So let me go ahead and read a little bit more. It says the vote at a public meeting in Oakland marks the beginning of the end of the 9-member panel 2 years process to craft a report recommending reparation for slavery, which is due to the state legislature by July 1st. Okay, now we almost out of 2024 and we haven't heard now one thing about this. But like they said there and say, the blacks always have my back. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Kamala Harrison, she was a DA over there, in California, right there, most likely in Oakland, And it says the report will act as manual for lawmakers and Governor Gavin Newsom, who established a task force in 2020 to study and gather evidence of the harms of the slavery and lasting discrimination as state elected officials begin to debate righting the wrong of the past. Righting the wrong of the past. See, like I say, they talk the talk. Oh, they talk the talk and gets us all hyped up. And before you know it, we running and jerk dancing and twerking and we about to sit there and things about to, get better for us. They've been saying that for many, many, many years. Many, many years, and we still haven't seen any change. So, like I said, what is the solution? What is the solution? We got solutions to sit there and get people, to build all types of technology, go into the moon or whatever they're going, but we can't figure out this right here. We can figure out everything. But when it comes to what's for us, we can't figure it out. But we'll go to bat for others, but won't sit there and go to back to stuff that really, really matters. Let me read a little more, even though I'm scrunching my eyes trying to see this. Okay. I hope I don't catch a headache. But right here it says that the task force has heard testimonies from more than 133 witnesses, such as scholars detailing California racist history and economics who offer suggestions for how to quantify compensations for health disparity, mass incarceration, and housing discrimination against descendants. And that's exactly, what the topics, that's exactly, the questions that we should ask these candidates, especially when it comes to incarceration. Most of this stuff, three strikes you out, came under former President Clinton and Joe Biden. Three strikes you out. That's right there, separated families. When you pull the head out of the home, what you think is going to happen? Like I say, when it comes to the system is not messed up. The system is only doing what the system is designed to do. You pulling out, oh, we got all, they must have did something. Well, quite obvious, if you don't have money to put food on your tables, then what you think is going to happen? That's Bible. They're going to go out there and they're going to steal. They can't get no jobs because now they are attached with felonies. Because you already know that's just a part of the system, and it was meant for who? Us. Because we got right now the former president, 34 felonies, was charged for it. Did he see the inside of the jail? No, and will never, because it's not made for them. Wake up, guys. Oh my God, like I say, it don't take a rocket science. It don't take a person with a PhD to figure this out. A child can figure this out. But yet you guys sitting there, oh, we want to make history. You want to make history, and that's all you're going to have, history. Oh, they're going to sit there, they're going to make statues and put us on the coins. That's still not going to help the community. What's going to help the community when we start pouring back into the community? Stop allowing everything to come in and eat the children's bread. Start doing for something that's just for us. Everybody else can get something just for them. This right here, what I'm talking about, they are about to go ahead and try to close a deal to pass a law called California Dream for all, for them, for the immigrants, for the illegal immigrants to get $150,000 loan right there in the state of California. We got people that are citizens and can't get that type of opportunities. Can't get that type of opportunities. And I know some of this stuff right here, guys, it sounds foreign, but you hear it. It's just that, our people, we love to sit there and do things the hard way. And that's why they can work overtime on us. Let me see if I can read a little more. Next time when I read these articles, pull it up. I'm also going to pull it out on my phone as well, okay? But right here, let me read this again. It says that the task force has heard testimonies from more than 133 witnesses, such as scholars detailing California racial history and economics who offer suggestions for how to quantify compensation for health disparity, mass incarceration, and housing discriminations against descendants. All this stuff right here is happening to our people, and we still waiting for them to pass a bill to get what's rightfully ours. Families affected by slavery shared their own experience and called for various forms of remedies in 28 hours of emotional public comment and dozens monthly meetings since the task force first gathered in June 2021. They've been talking about this since 2021. And they said that, pretty much they was going to go ahead and start issuing out reparation. But now it's on hold. It's on hold. But I promise you, for the immigrants, these illegal immigrants, that $150,000, I promise you, it's not going to be on hold. They're going to get that money. They're going to cut the checks for them. They're going to cut the checks for them. So right here it says, as the group concluded its work convincing lawmakers to pass the recommendation into the law and provide hundreds of billions of dollars in reparation at a time when California is facing a budget. So now all of a sudden you want to talk about a budget deficiency, could be the biggest challenge. Now is the challenge. Now they talking about right here. Let me read it again. They talking about facing a budget deficiency. could be the biggest challenge. Oh, so now, they gonna talk about, the budget now. No money in the budget. They got to see how to sit there and work it out. You didn't see how to work it out when you were sending billions and almost trillions of dollars overseas funding something that has nothing to do with us. We the type of people, we want to go out there and we want to police everybody country. We want to help everybody. Oh, we good Samaritans. Let's go ahead and do it. Everybody gets to eat except us. Everybody gets the American pie except us. And you telling us, well, all it takes is to put on your boots and pull up your bootstraps, and you can be able to get a piece of that pie as well. Well, what about if you pull and take the shoelaces from us? What if you take our boots and take that from us? And you probably sit there and say, well, you can do whatever you want to do. Well, if you're sitting there putting loopholes and traps and snares, but everybody else is easy selling, never even set foot on American soil. And what did Kamala Harrison said? I'm not going to just do anything for black people. And she said, she didn't, that time she didn't stutter, she didn't laugh. She was to the point with it. I'm not going to do nothing just for black people. But yet, you can stand on a podium and say that I'm going to always have Israel backs. I'm going to always have their backs. And her job assignment was to make sure that the border was in control. They asked her about the border. When was the last time you visited the border? When was the last time I went to Egypt? Or whatever she said, Europe. Nobody asked that question. They don't care. Let them come. Let them come. Because like I said, what you see right here, you may not want to hear it. But this is what I call an ethnic cleansing. This is what I call an ethnic cleansing. They'll do anything to sit there and try to push you back. But you guys don't want to see it. You guys don't want to see it. Everybody sit there and say, well, it's about democracy. You don't want me to go in and start pulling out the research when it comes to democracy and being under a dictatorship. Like I said, you can't sit there and say the less of the evil. If you just say right now, you under a dictatorship, which we already know that we already under right now. Our children are hunted down like sheep for the slaughter. When did they stop? When did they stop? We've been was under a dictator. When people can come into your home, take you out, and then they got an excuse. Look at Breonna Taylor talking about, oh, the reason why it happened to her and let these two cops out because it was her boyfriend's fault, not knowing that she had already had another boyfriend, but they had an excuse to justify their actions. See, y'all, you guys don't want to talk about stuff like that. Let me go ahead and read a little more, okay? Right here, it says, as the group conclude this work, convincing lawmakers to pass the recommendation into the law and provide hundreds of billions of dollars in reparation at time when California is facing a budget deficiency could be the biggest challenge yet. But yet, is no budget when you sitting there and want to do it for everybody else. I am optimistic that they take a look at our proposal. So this right here is a proposal. It is not even us a done deal, and engage in a good faith effort. A good faith. Okay, wow, that's another story for another day. Okay, effort to implement them, said Kamala Moore, the chair of the task force. So let me go get out of this right here. So what's your thoughts about all this right here? What are your thoughts about all this right here? So let me go ahead and read the comment. Hey, country girl. I see country girl is in the house. How are you doing? Terry Jones is in the house as well. But this right here, this is what I call a hot mess, guys. We must remember every wolf will eventually come out of the sheep clothing. Absolutely. 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 So that's all I'm sitting there saying. What are your thoughts about it? I've been going back and forth. When people were saying, "Well, it's all about democracy," it's all about freedom. And like I said, is freedom for everyone? We could sit there and say, "Oh, it's all about freedom," but you always the last of the barrel. And sometimes freedom calls, just like I said, the anointing calls. It calls. You asking for something, but are you ready to see how their freedom look? Their freedom might not look like your freedom. Your freedom is most likely, oh, let's go ahead and get you out and put somebody else in, because that's exactly what we see right here. Let me see if I can go ahead and pull this up, because I want to go ahead and get into, somebody was sitting there saying, "Oh, D, when you going to go back into Bible study and stuff like that?" Well, when I was talking about Bible study, you don't want to hear, you guys don't want to hear nothing that's going to sit there and wake our people up. Okay. So miss me with that BS. You guys be telling me all this stuff, but you guys not really ready. Let me see if I can pull this up right here. Let me pull this up because I'm gonna start doing. I want to go ahead and do this right here in the book of Ezekiel, because you guys asking. We're gonna break down democracy. Yes, we're gonna break down democracy and also dictatorship. We're gonna break down that too. Like I said there and say, we've been was going through a dictator, and when it comes to democracy, some of that right there, like I said, it's gonna be worse than the days of Lot. Some of you guys might catch this by tomorrow, okay? So let me go ahead and read some more of the comments. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Yeah. So I'm waiting for something. I pulled something up, guys. I'm waiting for it to upload. Let me pull this up.
Ezekiel in ancient times was granted a powerful vision of what the future held. Joshua as well faced a critical decision. He was given the freedom to choose which path to follow, to decide who he would serve. Now imagine if you were faced with a similar choice. To determine the course of your nation, would you opt for democracy or dictatorship? This decision holds immense importance as it shapes the very fabric of society. So take a moment to ponder, consider the consequences, and decide wisely.
So I wanted you guys to see that right there where it says consider, the difference. We got to learn to educate ourselves. That's one thing when it comes to our people. That's why they sit there and say, you put it in the book. You put it in the book, I promise you, most likely we're not going to open it up because we don't like to do research. Everything that we need, guys, is out there. This right here is what I call the age of information. And that little small clip I just showed you guys is that we talking about democracy, not knowing what democracies look like. Democracy can look like the days of Sodom and Gomorrah. Democracy can see that everybody got their rights except us. And all this stuff right here is taking place right now. Like I say, nothing is new under the sun. Nothing is new under the sun. That's why we got people that's running for offices. You only see them when it's time to vote. And where do they go? They go right there in poor communities because they know, like I said there and say, that's the majority of people. They're not gonna go and get these people, these Uncle Toms, these coonery buffooneries that thinking that they educated and these sororities and frat brothers or whatever they want to call them. They are a minority. They are small in numbers. But they will sit there and come out because just like Steve Harvey said, when it comes to certain fraternity brothers, they're the ones that own the airways. They are the ones that they pick to sit there and get their own radio stations. Why they get fraternity brothers? Most of them that got big radio stations, they all in some type of fraternity because they know that they can sit there and they can get that message across what the power that be is pouring into them so they can sit there and pour it into you. That's why we can have a Ricky Smiley sitting there calling us out, talking about fried chicken and trying to belittle us because he know that he needs us because we comes in numbers. Ben, don't let these people fool you that we just a small number. Didn't even President Biden sit there and say, "Oh, the minorities are soon to be The majorities. We've been with the majorities. That now you can't hide it no more. You can't sit there and put it on pin and put whatever you want to put on. We've been. It's just that y'all took the pen and y'all sat there and put it whatever you guys want to put on. But yes, most of these people that got the airways, I'm talking about, black people, they are in some type of fraternity. And they came out, God had them to regurgitate it out. Steve Harvey said that they are the ones that got the airways. They are the ones that got the radio stations. But they also have to be the ones that to pander to us to get the job done. Don't let these people keep sitting there rocking you to sleep, guys. Don't let them do that. Please don't let them do that. But let me see if I can pull up, So like I said there and say, sometimes you have to be wise as a snake and harmless as a dove. You have to be wise as a snake and harmless as a dove, because these people, they think that they can continue playing on the minds of our people. But this right here is what I call a Joshua generation. And this Joshua generation, honey, they are woke. They are woke, 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 honey. And they're not gonna allow these people to sit there and continue sitting there with that scare factor. Look at Malcolm X. Malcolm X, let me see if I can pull that up. Yeah, let me see if I can pull that up about Malcolm X. So this has been a message with Malcolm X almost 60 years, and he was sitting there telling you about all this right here. And we still sitting there haven't found the blueprint. So if they haven't changed back then, what makes you think now they're going to change? The only way that they're going to change is that you wake up and say enough is enough. Until you wake up and say enough is enough. Let me see if I can pull this up right here.
I think are two different things. A friend, I think, are two different things. I think there are many whites who act friendly toward Negroes. A fox acts friendly toward the lamb. And usually the fox is the one who ends up with the lamb chop on his plate. The wolf doesn't act friendly, and therefore the wolf has more difficulty in getting the lamb chopped.
My God. Oh my God. Ain't nobody mad but the devil. I rebuke that spirit in the name of Jesus. I'm talking to you guys and my mic was muted. But what I was sitting there saying is that when it comes to the wolf, we know the wolf. We know the wolf is just like a snake. If we see a snake, we're not going to run up to that snake because we know what that snake can do. But what about the wolves in sheep clothing? What about the sly foxes? Those are the ones that you got to watch. So, like I said there and say, the blueprint is already there. The foundation was already laid. But yet we got these jokers, these Uncle Toms like a Roland Martin and a Ricky Smiley. We got people like that putting this scare tactics on us. If you don't do this, this is what's going to happen. What about the blueprint, the foundation that was already laid? Because when it comes to their foundation, and I'm talking about the ones that think that they superior over there, us, their foundation, they don't mess with it. They keep running off of the same pattern over and over and over. Nothing new, nothing changed. It's just trickling down to their generation of generations. They ain't changed nothing. But we don't want to go by the blueprint that was already laid by our forefathers. Everybody sitting there saying, well, what is the solution? The solution, you got the solution. It's just that you fail to take heed to it. So let's listen to some more.
in its place.
I'd like to point out, though, that
And I say that because it is usually if you study the structure of the Negro community, economically, politically, civically, psychologically, and otherwise, it's controlled by the white liberal, who usually poses as the friend of the Negro, who actually differs from the white conservative in the same way that the fox differs from the wolf. Their appetite is the same. Their motives are the same. It's only their mannerisms and methods that differ.
You see? So the only thing that they changed up is their mannerism. And that's why they can come in sheep clothing, come with a smile, but all the while their appetite has not changed. That's why they can come in and chew you up and spit you out. But when are we going to say enough is enough? When are we going to say it's time for us to do for us? And how could we do for us? We tried that. You remember Wall Street, Black Wall Street? You remember that? You remember all the stuff that happened in Philadelphia? You remember all the stuff we did, all that. But now, like I said there and say, God has put the ball in our hands. The mantle is in our hands. All eyes is on us. No way that they can do what they used to do unless we sit there and we continue sitting there dipping and dabbing in the things of this world. We got billionaires. We got very smart, educated people. Always. We always had the blueprint to everything. Let me let you see this right here, because if you don't want to hear me, let's listen to this right here.
For hundreds of years, we've been the most hated. But within that hatred comes the hypocrisy of loving our culture. You've made trillions off of our motherfucking culture. You know that. You've made money off our culture. Let's be real.
100%.
You've made money off our culture. White musicians, all of them have made money off of black culture. All of rock, all of jazz, motherfuckers, all the shit we created from the oppression and the abuse and the rape and the putting down of us. We create blues, jazz, rock and roll, reggae, ska. We invent all of that shit. And to top it off, we invent all the shit that you all use. From the video game cartridge, Henry Lawson, We got the pacemaker, Otis Boynton. We have the late Dr. Bath, who created the laser eye surgery. We have Dr. Gladys, who's still alive, who's almost 80 years old, who created GPS.
See, we created. If we was left alone, and all the stuff that we created, they will be looking at us as the God and goddesses that we are. They will be bowing down to us. They will look at us as a God, the stuff that we had created. And it makes me upset when they say, oh, blacks created this, blacks created that. But none of the stuff is passed down to us. Why? Because we didn't own the pattern. We didn't own the pattern. They know the pattern. We didn't own the pattern. They knew exactly how to take it from under us because we didn't own the pattern. We built all this. We created all this. But the cankerworms, the palmer worms, the locusts, the caterpillars, they came in and they could suck it up. They came and suck it up. But when are you going to sit there and say the door is closed? When are you going to say the door is closed? And I'm going to leave it up to that right there. I'm about to close on that note right there. When are you going to say the door is closed? Because I promise you, don't let these people think that you are the bottom of the barrel. Because when it's time for them to get in positions, when it's time for them to get the ball rolling, Their businesses, where do they go? And who do we break our neck to support them? But let it be us. Let us call for to pour in millions of dollars into our communities to start building trade schools, businesses right into the black communities. You'll never get the job done. That's why when it comes to Dr. Umar Johnson, we sitting there waiting when the school gonna be done, because you guys will sit there and pour into everybody else instead of pouring into your own people. If anything, when it comes to your own people, when you see them do something, you want to sit there and try to sabotage it, help tear it down, talk the talk, help them do the talking, but then put not one dime in it, make it make sense. So on that note, guys, I am done, and that's real talk. Hey, Miss Wu. She said, we can't depend on the government to take care of us. We need to work diligently and trust God. Absolutely. I'm gonna read a little few more, and after that, that's it. I did my hour. Elvis Presley copied Big Mama Thurton Thornton with the song Hound Dog. Hound Dog. Absolutely, absolutely. Pat Boone copied Little Richard. Oh my God. Yes, he got all that knowledge. I don't couldn't say I don't know when either. I guess she's talking to somebody else. So guys, I'm gonna go ahead and close it up right now because I see my throat is starting to hurt. Okay. So on that note, guys, you all be blessed. I hope you all was educated, got a little knowledge, little nuggets to go ahead and run with. Like I said, the word is not hidden. The word is not hidden. The word is only hidden to those that lost. And it's up to you how far are you going to dig to go ahead and get that type of information. But like I said there and say, they got the answers. They know what's true. But you think that they going to sit there and tell you? No. It's time for us to sit there and wake up. And on that note, you all be blessed. Terry says, real talk with Lady D. I'm your number one hype man and proud of it much. Thank you. Bless you all, guys. You all be blessed. Okay, guys. On that note, you all be blessed. And thank you for being a part of my life. And that's real talk with your girl, Lady D, unapologetic and non biased. So you all be blessed.